Trapped and tortured. 6 people now behind bars, accused of holding and torturing a young woman for a week in their home. Tonight, why police are calling this a hate crime. A hate crime. A hate crime.
Well, Jessica, at this point, investigators believe that race was a contributing factor to this woman's torture. She is black, and the 6 suspects are white. But according to the law and the nature of the crime, the suspects did not meet the criteria to be charged with a federal hate crime. Now, police say the woman was raped, stabbed multiple times in the leg, and beaten. According to the criminal complaint, the woman was forced to eat rat and dog feces and drink from the toilet. She was also allegedly choked, had her hair cut out, and was doused with hot water.
Hot water? Ramp with me? Come on! Me said, me shot pussy old people for fun. Who want to test me? Come on! You know who not bumbo cloth ramp with? You know me? I am the original Jamaican dandana. You understand? Jamaican road boy. I don't want to rock with murder the fort. Come on. I murder people the fort. Murder. I am the original.
Deputies received a tip that a woman was being held hostage inside a trailer there. When they went to check it out, the 23-year-old victim came to the door pleading for help. They say she's been abused physically, mentally, and sexually. Brewster's mother, Frankie, forced the 20-year-old to perform oral sex and beat her. Another woman, Karen Burton, allegedly choked Megan with a cable cord and slashed her ankle while taunting her with racial slurs. Burton's daughter, Alicia, is charged with pulling out Megan's hair and choking her. This man, George Messer, is accused of assaulting Megan while she was sexually assaulted. And Danny Combs is charged with rape and stabbing Megan.
The family is aghast and totally devastated by the findings of the local prosecutor that this barbaric, heinous, despicable crime is not one where racial hatred has not commutated the very core of this evil and sick treatment meted out to this young woman of African American descent. You have to call it what it is.
New details tonight in the horrific torture of one woman in this house in Logan County, why the U.S. Attorney decided not to file hate crime charges.
Prosecutors allege that all the suspects took turns guarding the exits to the trailer and the shed that's located on a piece of property in Big Creek, and repeatedly threatened to kill Megan if she tried to escape.
This was done by some perverse, subhuman, evil, devilish people in that particular community. That's all we'll say. Any other question?
She had cuts on her legs, bruises around her neck. Her hair had been pulled out in places. It was just something out of a horror movie.
Mr. Logan, prosecutor, we are urging you to reconsider your findings regardless of who gave you advice. And if you are unwilling or unable, we are calling on the Justice Department to intervene immediately and take over this case. We are not silent, and we shall never be silent until there is full justice for Megan Williams. Because thundering in the prodigious hills of West Virginia and sloping down the mountains to the valleys of our beautiful state, the words of the prophet Amos is still true. Let justice roll down like a mighty flood and cover the land and the seas. There are 3 pastors here, and they each have heard from the victim's own testimony, own lips, about their racial invectives that were used in describing while they were brutal acts that was done were done to this young lady. There can be no backsliding at this time. The days of judicial apartheid are behind us. We cannot, with the world watching with bated breath to see justice in action, fumbling this opportunity to send a clear and unmistakable signal that we as a society do not and cannot condone such reprehensible conduct.
The white man rapes and ravages and takes advantage of our women. He'll take your little sister. He'll beware of your little baby sister. Will take your face for every white man in Harlem. Your little daughter, your mother, your wife. After some time, every time they walk past the white man, he hits on them. He thinks that they're animals, that he can abuse at will. And if you and I, if we don't wake up and keep that white man away from our women, our race will really be destroyed. Keep that white man's claws off our women. I never would stand up to an audience as large as this and fail to warn you of the importance of protecting your own woman. And what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Remember that. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Do you understand what I'm saying? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Let him know that the price he'll have to pay when he pats your woman is either the loss of his hand, or the loss of his arm, or the loss of his head. And if you go to jail for taking his head, you went to jail for a good cause. You can go to prison and say, I came here because I defended our black women from the filthy paws of that blue-eyed white man. Yes, I'm saying it and I mean it. I mean, snatch off their heads. You and I will never be respected until we get some respect for this black woman.
As you can see, Williams is with her parents. She was wanted in Greenbrier, Summers, and Raleigh counties for passing a series of bad checks. She also faces fraudulent scheme and obtaining money under false pretenses charges stemming from those worthless checks which she allegedly passed in 2006. Again, Williams turned herself in to sheriff's deputies late this afternoon. You are looking at exclusive video from Magistrate Court in Charleston. We will have much more on this still developing story. Meanwhile, graphic details about what Williams' alleged abductors did to her. Bob Aaron was at the hearing for Frankie Brewster, the woman at the center of the horror story in Logan County.
Testimony Tuesday claimed that Megan Williams spent 4 days locked in this shed without any food and water. 6 people were allegedly involved in her abduction. Did not want to let her go, a deputy said, because they feared she'd tell the cops what they had done. They allegedly held and tortured the woman for at least a week. The charges against defendant Frankie Brewster, who along with her son Bobby Brewster is portrayed as a ringleader, were sent to a grand jury. According to Brewster's and the victim's statements, those abuses included being forced to eat feces, being forced to perform oral sex, and being beaten profusely with a wooden stick and a fly swatter. The descriptions were too much for the victim's mother to stay in court, and here, 2 of her captors allegedly forced her to drink a cup of their urine.
They called me from Logan County Hospital and asked me that I have a daughter named Megan, and then they let me know that she was in the hospital and began to tell me a little bit about what happened to her. I mean, I really just, don't understand how anybody could do anyone like that. I mean, I wouldn't do my worst enemy like that. And me and my family, was just very horrified.
In any race of people, the most instinctively revolutionary people is the youth, because the youth is always willing to act. In anybody's race.
This is the WAIF 88.3 FM Cincinnati, and you're listening to Star/REVOL-RADIO. We are the new flavor team of programming, and we'll be bringing to you the aura of the hip-hop generation every first Fridays of the month at 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. on WAIF 88.3 FM Cincinnati, which is your true stepchild radio. Sit back, be educated, uplifted, and empowered. We'll be bringing to you the 411 on current issues, music, and ways to get involved. We are giving you the youth perspective From grade school all the way up to college. From home, work, and right back to the streets, baby. So bob your heads with us, dialogue with us, and never forget. Please never forget.
Organize our people. Organize our people. Organize our people. Organize our people. Nothing else. Organize our people. Our people.
You can pray until you faint. But if you don't get up and try to do something, God is not going to put it in your lap. And there's no need of running and no need of saying, honey, I'm not going to get in the mess. Because if you were born in America with a black face, you're born in the mess.